Aviation experts say what likely happened is the plane came off this runway, but the pilot didn't get the lift he needed. And though from the air this park would likely look like a flat, nice place to land, when he came up on this berm, he pulled a hard right, which caused him to bounce onto this soccer field about a half-mile from the runway. Witnesses watched as the plane, heavy with fuel, struggled to take off.
Immediately I knew he was in trouble because he just wasn't gaining altitude.
As the landing gears went down, people on the ground called 911, saying a plane was about to crash.
I never got any higher than 40, 50 feet off the ground, and the initial hit was pretty hard where it bounced, and then it went down and on its belly.
The 3 passengers inside couldn't get out. Witnesses say 2 women were moaning in pain and the pilot was unconscious.
We were here at the right time. It just clicked in. We did what we had to do.
What they had to do was pull them out of the wreckage quickly before the fuel caught fire and the plane exploded.
I got the wife out, the right passenger, out of the plane first. She was the closest one. So I grabbed her, I unbuckled her, then I ran back to the plane and where 2 guys were already trying to get the pilot out, but at that time the plane really got engulfed in flames and I jumped in as well, and all 3 of us pulled him out and then dragged him to safety.
But in this case, thank heavens that these people were willing to put themselves at risk to help this other family, because certainly with the injuries that have been described and the fire that ensued, it's easy to say that, yeah, some lives were saved by the quick action of these people.
Aviation experts say from the look of it, the pilot only had a few seconds to react and made a quick decision to land in the empty park.
There's a vulnerable point right there, and that's why whenever you're flying, you try to take off and get as much altitude as possible, so if you do have an engine out, you can return back. And it happens, but it's very, very rare.
I think it could have been much worse if this was a Saturday. All the kids and the parents here, it was far a better situation than it could have been.
The father and mother and daughter are expected to survive. They're from the Boise area and were on their way home. Live in West Jordan, Ashton Goodell, Fox 13 News, Utah.
And I saw Sergeant Kelly, who's in the report there in his fatigues. Was he? I know there's an Army presence or a National Guard presence there at the airport. Was he on duty there?
He was actually on his way to work at Camp Williams. He was stopped at a stoplight. He noticed that something wasn't quite right with that plane, so he rushed over to the park. But he says his training really kicked in and helped in this situation.